What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Welcome to RossonARI TV. This is Sunday, June 9th, 2024. 3 weeks still, 2 weeks and a half away from the official beginning of the Mercato, but we do have rumors. We do have interesting names. We do have a lot of things to talk about. We do have a lot of speculations to make, a lot of connecting the dots. Some good articles today from Sempre Milan that bring up some good conversations. And AC Milan has always something to talk about. But anyway, let me say hi to chat. What's up, guys? Zirkzee is 95% done. Personal agreement has been found. Let's see. There's some new rumors that came out regarding Zirkzee. Here we go, coming soon. This is going to be lit. Good morning, y'all, from land down under on the other side of the planet. Incredible. Incredible. Okay, let's get straight into it. So it does look like Zirkzee is going to become an AC Milan player. Milan is the team that is the closest to signing him. There is some sort of confirmation that he likes Italy and he wants to stay in Italy. Now, the last thing that was key to all of this is that apparently the agent is bringing down the price. They might find a solution in the middle. It looks like it's going towards that direction. And really, that's the key part that is missing. But Sky UK here says Arsenal and Manchester United still in Zirkzee race despite Milan's London mission. So let's see what it says. According to Sky in the UK, Arsenal and United remain interested in Zirkzee amid strong interest from Milan, and both clubs are understood to be closely monitoring developments relating to the 23-year-old. Okay, so to me, what this says, first thing that comes to my mind is that these guys are waiting to find out whether or not Milan is going to figure out the agent fees. If Milan can figure out the agent fees, Zirkzee is 100% going to go to Milan. If Milan can't figure out the agent fees, then, Zirkzee is going to have to choose another team. And it's probably Arsenal and Man United. Unless there's some other developments that happen in these upcoming days that completely sweep the rug out of Milan's feet. I think Zirkzee so far looks like he's going to be joining Milan. It's really up to the agent and his commissions. Of course, Arsenal, Manchester United guys, Zirkzee 40 million plus 10 million or 50 million for a commission. For them, that's peanuts. I want people to understand something. Palmer, the player that plays at Chelsea, he was paid 40 million. And he came from the Primavera. They paid Primavera players 40 million. That's insane. How many examples of that do you see in Serie A of Primavera players being paid that much money? So just like the financial dimensions and reality between England and Italy is night and day. So for them, paying 15 million to the agent is like giving him like a tip. That's change. That's like a tip for them. But anyway, the most important thing when it comes to these loan deals, it really comes. Loan deals. When it comes to these release clause deals, it really comes down to the player's will, and that is what is important right now. And it seems like that the player's will is directed towards AC Milan, and that's what we want. Zirkzee is a very good player. He's shown that he has good characteristics. We're going to talk about him a little bit. Now, as far as his goal contribution, etc., this is something that we have spoken about in this channel with a bunch of people, and it is something that needs to be addressed. So in total, this is his stat card. You can see it right here. Goals 11, assists 4, chances created 43, fifth, dribbles completed 52, first, possession 1. That's a very important stat right there. Possession 1, second, touches. Now I don't know who are they ranking with. Probably Serie A players in the same position. I'm not sure what the ranks are, but as far as his goal contribution, we have to be realistic here. Giroud had a very high goal contribution for us last year, even though we did not win anything, even though we got kicked out of every competition miserably. Giroud did have a high goal contribution, around 26 goals, right? 26 goals total in all competitions. You can argue, okay, more games, but not that many more games, to be honest. But regardless, a high contribution. So Zirkzee is really not adding to what we already have. He's just coming there to fill a void. And if he can provide that same kind of output, I think he'll be quite valuable. I don't think he can his first season. I think you need more if you want to. But then again, my question always goes down to, do we need to score more goals? How many fucking goals do you need to score? You don't need to score 10 goals a game against Cagliari to win Serie A, you know? Like, we scored a lot of goals last season. Goals was not the problem. Goals was definitely not the problem. So at the end of the day, Zirkzee is coming in. He's really filling the void that Giroud is leaving. Now, one thing that I do think is interesting and can help Fonseca's style of play is this stat right here, possession 1 second. Now, the way Fonseca likes to play his football, he likes to bring the team all the way up in the opposition's half. And he kind of does what Pioli was doing about a year ago and before that, where he has a midfielder join the back line of 2. So it becomes 3, a back line of 3. And that back line of 3 is with the addition of a midfielder. And then the 2 fullbacks go up. The 2 central midfielders go up. Everybody is up. Everybody's up. And basically, when you lose the ball, you have to right away fight for it right away and be aggressive and win it again in the opposition half. This is the tiki-taka style of football. When you don't have the ball, you have to win it back in their own half. That's how it works. Otherwise, if you don't win it back in their own half, you're just going to be like a yo-yo going back and forth. Your team is going to get stretched and stretched and stretched and stretched until you get scored goals. And then it really becomes, okay, who's going to score the most goals? Is it going to be me or is it going to be you? If that's the way we want to play this season, guys, forget about it. 4th spot is going to be hard to play for 4th spot like that. But let's see, what does Fonseca need to do in order to really be able to achieve that kind of football where he can win the ball back in his own half right away? Zirkzee is a player that can help him do that because Zirkzee is a pretty physical player and he does come back and he's very good at using his body. Now, one thing I did see when he played against us with Milan is that he would come pretty deep into the pitch and help the team come up. But he was also very good at shielding the ball with his body. So he has that ability. He does have the midfielder's ability to shield people off the ball and push people off the ball, use his body. Now, the main issue when it comes to making that kind of game successful, meaning you're a tiki-taka team, you lose the ball in your opposition half, and then you have to win it back. The real key factor in making that successful is determination and will. So that's really where I'm asking myself, where is that going to come from? Where is that going to come from? Because you have to be super aggressive. You have to be just a fighting spirit. Your fighting spirit needs to be at 1,000,000%. Because you can't afford to not win the ball in that area. Because if you can't win the ball in that area, your whole game plan changes. Everything changes. I just don't think that with teams like the ones he's going to be facing in Italy, especially the ones in the top 10, they're teams that they're not going to allow you to just squash them in their own half. It's going to be back and forth. It's going to be a back and forth affair. So the will and determination, where is that going to come from? That's my big question. Zirkzee does provide weight, meat, muscle, and he does provide the statistic of winning possession at a pretty high rate for a striker, and that can be helpful. But the fighting spirit, that's something that I'm really curious about, and I don't know if that is fixable. Because that comes with the culture, with the philosophy of the club, with the people that work behind the scenes. It's not just the coach and the players. It's the whole infrastructure. That is going to be something that is quite interesting to me. If you defend lower, it's easier to defend, so maybe you can mitigate these things. But if you're going to defend high up the pitch like that, man, you have to be on point. There's no room for error. So anyway, we'll see. Regardless, I do think that Zirkzee is a good signing, and I think Zirkzee will provide some good football, because based on how he plays football, he is quite good at holding the ball between the lines in that area and then going forward. Dribbling, dribbles completed first, so he can dribble. There you go. And also just his ability to connect the midfield with the attack is good. So these are all good things. I think Zirkzee is a good signing. He is one of the Serie A's best players from last season, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed, if you want to become a Champions League winning team, you sign and the dominant team in Serie A, because first you have to become the dominant team in Serie A, then you can win a Champions League. But anyway, if you want to do that, it's very simple, guys. It's very simple math. I don't need Windows 94 to tell me how to do that. I don't need MIT graduates that work for a company in Texas. I don't need that. It's very simple math. You get the best players in Serie A, you take away from the competition, you put it in your team, and then that's how you create a super team. And that's how it's very simple. That's kind of like what we did in the past under Berlusconi. Our most successful periods were done by using that strategy. Yeah, you have to invest money. It costs money, but the rewards are like, you win lots of trophies. Your brand grows. But guys, I have some very bad news for everybody. Guys. And forgive me for the bad news that I have for you guys. It's actually good news and bad news at the same time. AC Milan as a brand is the fastest growing brand in football right now. Let's say by far. They don't need to win trophies to grow their brand and double their profits, because they're doing it right now. They can just keep a status quo and use social media, use new media technology, sponsors, business deals, all of this stuff. AC Milan right now is the fastest growing brand in football right now. So they don't even need to build a super team to really grow their brand, which is sad, because that means that they're going to be content, they're going to be happy with how things are. So so it's quite interesting. Let me go to chat, and then we'll move on to next subjects. All right, we need to play. Zirkzee wants Milan, so his family, so he's staying in Italy. Yeah, the will of the player is going to determine everything, for sure. And right now, we do have that advantage with Zirkzee, so we should keep it. We need to play well against Inter, and Zirkzee succeed in that this season. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Zirkzee is the. I mean, against Inter, it's more than just one player. I mean, Inter has a lot of. It's the midfield, really. Inter has just a world class midfield, and we don't. And it really comes down to that. I got news about Zirkzee. Okay, what's the news? What's the news? Having a top tier ball shielding a just 23-year-old is special. Yeah, he's definitely top tier in that. Is he world class? He needs to prove it, but he's definitely top tier for sure. One report mentioned that Fonseca requested the center forward capable of scoring 20 plus goals in order to compete with Inter. Milan, oh my God. Milan are good in creating chances with Zirkzee can double, yet you still need a top goal scorer. Yes, you definitely need that. Because I don't even think that Zirkzee is going to cover what Giroud was producing. So you're going to need that, and it's good. We are going to talk about that because there are some names. 80% of Milan followers are probably LG. Okay, all right. Hey guys, no. So what? One starting CB, Fofana, RB, and Zirkzee. If I see this, I'm on the Cardinal train. Yeah, I mean, you can get on the Cardinal train, but don't jump off if things are not going well. Stay there, you know what I'm saying? Roy, do you know what's up with Milan management and Armando Broja? Why do they keep going for this dude? Well, Armando Broja right now is on a deal because he is a player that was considered to be a promising player, right? He was a promising player, and he does have potential. He showed good things. He's a powerful, athlete. He definitely has those things going on for him. He was showing some good things. He had this major injury. Chelsea has so many players that they don't even know how to manage that team. That team is full of players. They have no clue how to manage that team. So Broja is a great opportunity to bring in a player that was potentially considered, to become maybe a top player in the future. It is a bet, but it's not a terrible bet. It depends on the price. I am seeing though that Everton wants to get Broja and they're willing to spend about 30 million for him. So I don't know. I think Chelsea will probably go for the money. I'm almost convinced that Chelsea will go for whoever offers the most, because Chelsea has wasted so much money with no return. So we will see. We will see about Broja. But yeah, potentially a good striker is for sure. Yeah. Roy, Pulisic and the rest of the Americans get humbled by Colombia yesterday. They looked like scared kids. Guys, I'm telling you, and I've always said this, that the real issue, the reason why USA will never become a great footballing nation, and neither is Canada, neither is Mexico, unfortunately, because Mexico probably could, but is because the Confederation is very weak. It is very weak, guys. I mean, let's look at let's go to Europe for a second. Just look at what Camarda did this year, right? Camarda played against Belgium, Holland. He played against then the other teams that are still good, like Sweden, Poland, Slovakia, Finland. And then Portugal. Portugal, in order to get to the final, had to beat France, Spain, Germany, and whatnot. That is, you cannot compare the level of competition these players are immersed into from a young age to what happens on this continent here. South America is more similar to Europe for sure, but here in the North America is like it's like C tier. It's maybe D tier. If Europe is Serie A, CONCACAF over here, this North America is probably Serie C, Serie D, and South America is Serie A too. So what are you gonna So you can't compete, and it's unfortunate. And because of this division in confederations, USA will never become a top national team. It's just impossible. It just can't work. Um, it just can't work. It'll just and whatever it is, what it is. It's not a big deal. USA is has a lot of things going on for them. They don't need football as well. Broja is crap. Would rather keep Jovic as backup. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. 30 million on Broja is nuts. I mean, in England, 30 million is like 5 million in Italy, you know? These guys have so much money, it's crazy. Broja, I'm not convinced about him. Better we use one of our youths. You know what? I don't disagree with that. I definitely don't disagree with that. Take it from an Albanian, he's max 9 million. Wow. Okay. Okay. Also, another thing, ICC Cricket T20 World Cup is going on in USA this year, and USA has just beat Pakistan there. Oh, really? Wow. Okay, that is really impressive. That is very impressive. Because Pakistan is one of the best teams, right? They're like one of the, aren't they like an elite cricket nation? Broja is injury prone, did not convince in Chelsea, nor did he in Fulham. Couldn't cut it in Premier League. How can he succeed in Serie A, known in their tactical defensive capabilities? Good questions. You know, all good questions to ask. Good questions to ask, for sure. What I have seen from Broja, yeah, from a physical standpoint, he is impressive to me. But I honestly don't know if he has. I mean, I would assume he does have ability to eventually figure it out in Italy, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, guys. This is a tough one because he hasn't been playing much. He's coming from a long injury. He's always not regarded as one of the top players in Chelsea. You know, how many starts did he have this season? Let me check. I think that's a good question to ask right there. How many games did he play? Armando Broja. Let's see. 22 years old. Oh man, he's a child. He's still a bambino, guys. We're talking about a bambino here. Okay, okay. So this kind of falls into, he only played 8 matches in the Premier League. 1 assist. Yeah, okay. So obviously it would be a stretch to think that if he comes to Italy, he's going to have a great season right away. At this age, very difficult. He'd have to grow into the league. He would have to grow into the league. And also, I don't see, if we do get Zirkzee, Broja is sitting on the bench like the whole season, for sure. Unless it's a mystery, and the guy is incredible. He comes in and he's right away dominant. That stuff. This I agree with right here. We should sign Pinamonti instead of Broja. Yes, and I think Pinamonti is not too different physically than Broja, but also Pinamonti has the stats to back him up. Let's see, Pinamonti. Now here I think we're talking. If we're going to bring in a second striker just to sit on the bench, absolutely, Pinamonti could be the guy. I mean, he's a great footballer. He has great technique. He's 25 years old, so he's a little bit more mature. He had 38 games, 11 goals, 1 assist. I mean, Zirkzee had 11 goals and 4 assists. So it's not even that much different from Zirkzee. Good shout out. Well done. Why you shark, Roy? It's a Milan here. We only sign Bambinos. That's right. Broja, 30 million, add another 10 million, and get Dovbrik instead. He's 26-year-old, more experienced, and proven goal scorer. This is the guy in Spain, right? What's the issue? Let's see. What's the deal with this dude? Dovbrik. Who is obviously someone else has to be linked with this guy, because I mean, Apparently, 40 million, top goal scorer in Spain. Let's check. Uh, uh, uh. Hmm, I don't know. I'll find. I'll find. Artem Dobrik plays in Girona. Yeah. Who is someone else? Is he being linked to any other teams? Because it is strange that this player, is like second choice of Zirkzee, but he is, like, what's the deal with him? What's the catch? There's a catch here. If 16-year-old Yamal is a starter at Barcelona, why is Camarda not at least a bench player at Milan? I think he can be. Honestly, I've been asking this question for a while, and I've been observing Camarda. I've also been listening finally to his interviews because now there's some interviews out. He's very mature for his age. He says things that mature people would say. So obviously he's very intelligent, and he's brought up. There's a good. You can tell the family there keeps him level headed. Saying very things in a very humble way, especially about his team. With all the accolades he gets, with all the attention he gets, it doesn't seem like it's going to his head. There was an interview after the U17 championship, and he responded. He gave all the credit to his teammates. He gave the credit to the group, being together, being united. For not 1 second he said, "Yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that." When everybody's showering full of accolades, and he did it sincerely. He said it sincerely. He said, that my goals are just a result of the great work that the group does, and we all run for each other, we all fight for each other, we all sacrifice for each other. The guy at 16 is literally saying every single word perfectly. And then also, there was this. He was at a book ceremony, regarding Berlusconi, and you can kind of see he was there standing next to Van Basten. Like his body now is mature. Like he can do it. He can do it. But I don't know if it's the right choice. They'll figure it out. All right, let's look at some more chats and we'll move on. Finally, someone talked about Pinamonti. He is underrated. I don't know. I've always liked Pinamonti. The guy's got excellent technique, pristine. I followed him in the youth national teams. He was always one of the best players in the youth national teams, and I was very disappointed that Inter kind of threw him away to get to pay for Lukaku and these fucking players that kind of and these bench players that Correa. Like that was a mistake that Inter did, and it kind of derailed his career a little bit. But he should be at Inter as one of their rotational strikers. That's where he should be. He was an Inter player, one of the really good prospect. So Pinamonti is a victim of Marotta mismanagement. Marotta does a lot of good things, but Pinamonti is definitely an example of mismanagement. Everybody is linked to either Manchester United or Arsenal. Dobrik strike me as more of a traditional number 9. I think the algorithm is telling us Zirkzee opens up Leao and Pulisic. Yes, I besides the fact that I do agree with that, I also think that the fact that Zirkzee just is a Serie A proven player is a big factor in all of this, and it's a great deal. It's a great deal because Dobrik would be a great deal too. Camarda already played 2 games with the senior team. Yeah, a lot of people weren't impressed, but what I think now, maybe one more season and then he can go for sure. Are we also going for Hummels? Okay, so I read reports today saying that Milan is not interested in Hummels, and they're not going to be looking at Hummels for the future. All right, let's go to another subject here. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, yeah, actually, I have a subject. Douglas Luiz. So Milan is linked with Douglas Luiz again, Aston Villa midfielder. This guy was supposed to be one of the possible replacements of Kessie a while ago when we sold Kessie. So we're talking about already 2 seasons ago. The season we got CDK, essentially. We were linked to Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz was one of the options. If we would have gotten Douglas Luiz, we wouldn't have gotten CDK. Douglas Luiz, midfielder, plays at Aston Villa. Now, I've seen some people online be extremely positive about this possible signing. I think it will be a decent signing. I mean, I don't know if it's still, I don't know. I don't know what level he is really. 26 years old, 35 matches, 9 goals, 5 assists in the Premier League. So these are good numbers. Aston Villa had a decent season in the Premier League. They got their ass kicked by Olympiacos in the Conference League really badly. Olympiacos did beat Fiorentina, but you can't say that they kicked Fiorentina's ass, but they did really beat Aston Villa badly in their own stadium, scoring a lot of goals. Orlando Souza, you're Brazilian, right? How do you rate Douglas Luiz? From what I saw, guys, I'll be quite honest with you. I think he's a normal player. I think a good age. It is a good age. If he comes to Viseria, it's 50-50. Either he performs really well or he becomes or he's just average, as far as I know. Now, one very interesting indicator that always tells you everything you need to know is national team. Douglas Luiz in the national team. Now, Brazilians do have an excess in talent. Okay, so he has had 7 games in Brazil U20. Okay, that's good. In the U23, 13 games. Was that the Olympics? I'm assuming he participated in the Olympics. 2 goals. And with the senior national team, 14 games. These are not bad stats. These are pretty good stats, seeing that Brazil has an excess in players to choose from. So the fact that he is in the national team, it could be an interesting solution. Maybe it is a good solution. What kind of impact he would have, I don't know. That is all to be discovered. What do you guys think about this player in chat? If you know him, and what do you think? Let me know. Broja ha bisogno di giocare, serve una squadra che lo fa giocare da titolare al Milan, parte dalla panchina così non cresce. Yes, for sure. Broja needs to play. If he's just going to come to Milan to sit on the bench, like what's the point? And he's a player that you have to play for him. You have to feed him. So at the end of the day, I don't disagree. If Fonseca plays with one striker, is it going to be just Zirkzee? Because if there's going to be guys, listen, no position is ever shared 50-50 unless there are certain cases, it can be. But most of the times, 70%, 80% of the time, one player is playing in that position and the other guy is sitting down. So the question is going to be, who's going to be the starter? Who is going to be the starter? Priority is a player who can take corner kicks well, like Çalhanoğlu used to. But Juventus wants Douglas, and as a Brazilian, I can vouch she's a beast. I have seen that Juventus also wants Douglas. Juventus's market, if Juventus can do what they're saying they are trying to do, that'll be great. But how many times have we seen markets where a team says we want this guy with that guy, that guy, but then by the time August comes, they don't get any of those guys. So far, Juventus has gotten Thiago Motta, as far as I know. They have gotten Di Gregorio. They're going to go in for Calafiori, and they want to go for Douglas Luiz and Cup Miners. You know, if they can do all of that, I doubt it. It's good. It's good. It's a good way to get the fans riled up and the fans excited about next season. But I doubt Juventus can pull that off. Luiz is an Ederson type player. Okay, all right. Loftus-Cheek, Luiz will still isn't on the we need to. Yeah, I agree. Luiz Loftus-Cheek is probably still not as good as Inter's midfield. I don't know if Douglas Luiz can elevate that midfield to that level. I'm not sure. Luiz will be a great addition to this team. Okay. Douglas is well rated back home, very liked by our current coach. Okay, that's good. There you go. That's a good thing then. Luiz, what happened to Fofana? Man, this man is more of an incompetent. Well, I think Douglas Luiz just now is a name. We're going to see lots of names. There's going to be lots of names, guys. Every day there's going to be a new name. This guy. Amrabat is going to come back probably. Then we're going to see this name. Obviously, we are looking for defensive midfielders or midfielders that provide muscle. So we're going to be linked to these guys. Douglas Luiz. We were linked to Douglas Luiz when we were looking for a replacement to Zirkzee. So it kind of makes sense we're being linked to these guys again. Maybe getting Douglas Luiz now would probably be better since he has gained more experience. Luiz is very good on the ball. He's agile, ball winner. Why can't we get Jorginho and Fofana? That's a good mix. Jorginho should be cheap now. I like Jorginho. I like him a lot. I think he's very good at controlling the tempo of the game. He would be a good resource. He would be a good experienced midfielder to have in the team since we don't have any experience at all there. So as an experienced addition to the puzzle, I think Jorginho will be a good player for sure. We're not beating Inter anytime soon, my friend. Not with this management for sure. Honestly, I would just keep CDK and rotate him as a number 9 with Zirkzee. I thought, you know what? That is actually not a bad shout out because essentially you would have the same kind of player. It'd be almost the same system, right? CDK, Zirkzee, Jovic going into next season. Obviously, that doesn't scare many teams, but again, what are we playing for next season? CDK, Zirkzee, Jovic, CDK, Zirkzee, Broja, CDK, Zirkzee, Sesko, CDK, Zirkzee, Dobrik, maybe something like that could be interesting. CDK, guys, looks like he's coming back to Milan. I assume Atalanta will figure it out with Milan and they will get him in the end. But right now, Atalanta wants a discount. Milan wants none of it. They're already losing money on him, so they don't want to lose more money. And right now the operation is at a stall. I do believe, though, that even if this operation doesn't come to fruition, CDK will go to another club. Will most likely go to another club. I would have gotten Zapata last year rather than Jovic. Oh, yeah, I agree with that 100%. No, not Jorginho. Roy, what do you think of Salamakers? Yes, I would love to have Salamakers coming back because Salamakers provides a lot of different tactical solutions. Salamakers is a fighter. And also, one thing we know because we have the data is that when Pioli pressed high, and when he was successful at that, he had Salamakers on the pitch that was doing a big chunk of that work. Salamakers' high press is really, really good. And Fonseca is going to need players like that if he wants to do high press. Because with the players that he wants to, with the players that we have right now, that midfield, that high press is not very special. It's not very special. It's not very special. The high press that we have right now is not very special. So a player like Salamakers, who is not a player you put on a marquee signing. It's a player that actually people will always shit on. But the truth is that the work he does on the pitch is actually very valuable. A straight swap for CDK for Scamacca. Scamacca is valued too high right now. But yeah, I would do that. I think Zirkzee, if you look at last year and you look at the players from last year that really showed something special, there's a bunch of them. But if I'm looking at the striker position, Scamacca, the second half of the season onwards was incredible. Zirkzee, from the beginning of the season till the end, what was incredible. I think these two players offensively last year that are in teams that you can still dream of buying are probably, the two players that if you really want to build something special, you should get these two guys. You should get Scamacca and Zirkzee and play a system in which they play together and also have Leao in there. And then you have everything. You literally have everything you need. I mean, I wouldn't play the Fonseca style of football, but this is just dreaming, obviously. Coop Mainers is another guy that you want to bring at Milan from how he's performing. Zapata Zirkzee would have been a great combination. Better have Zirkzee and Dobrik together. They can rotate and in big matches play them together. Zirkzee as number 10, Dobrik as number 9. If they can pull that off, I'll be pretty crazy. Zapata Zirkzee would be extremely great. Yeah, it's a good combo. Realistically speaking, get Pinamonti and Zirkzee. Realistically speaking, I agree with that. Yeah. I definitely, if we're going to go and get a young player just for the sake of it, then I would do that. Yeah, focus on defensive midfield, please, and please keep our top players. Is Theo Magnan staying? I heard Bayern is keeping Davis. Okay, all right. So let's go to this, since Sempre Milan does have an article about it. Let's go to it. Let's see what they say. There has been some rather worrying talk in the media about the potential sale of Theo Hernandez this summer, but Mike Maignan is far more realistic candidate to leave. Damn, Ollie was feeling in a bad mood when he wrote this. As our colleagues at SempreMilan.it write, the financial situation that Milan finds itself in is positive. Yes, guys, Milan right now is financially doing really well, thanks to the work that Maldini and Massara did and Gazidis did for the past 4 years, and now they're bearing the fruits of that. But also, Redbird is very media. It's all about media, and sponsors and all that bullshit. So even Redbird is doing their part in bringing up the value of the brand of the club. So money-wise, guys, listen, this is what pisses me off, guys. And this is why earlier I said this is a problem. The fact that we're seeing the value of Milan go up, but we're still going to do a market like this, like the one that they're talking about, should worry you. It should worry you. Because Milan right now is in the position to do a supermarket. Not to do a quickie mart, but to do a supermarket. Milan right now is in the position to do a supermarket, not a quickie mart. So, the fact that these guys have gained 34% value has gone up in the past year or something like that. In the brand, not the players, the value of the players has gone down in the brand. We're talking specifically about the brand. Pretty much tells you that these guys have as far as the sporting aspect, guys, these guys are not on the same page as what many of us hope they are. They are not on the same page, because we could have a supermarket, guys. We could have a top tier team, guys. We could have the best team. We could be up there against Real Madrid with our current situation. This market here, we could turn the club into a team that can compete against Real Madrid and Man City. Maybe not right away, but in the years to come. Instead, we're doing all these operations: buy low, sell high, young players, prospects, Fonseca, Moneyball. It's all about the business, guys. It's all about the business. The sporting area has become secondary, and it is a shame. As much as we want to be excited about the market and believe, we have to keep in mind that Milan right now does have the ability to build a team as strong as the top teams in Europe, as strong as Inter. Remember, guys, our wage cap right now is 86 million. Okay, Inter's wage cap is 120 million. They are spending 40 million more on wages. Milan could easily do that. Milan could get up to 110, 115, 120, maybe even more, and still be in the green. But that's not the way things are. That's not the way the things are. And it's a shame. It's a shame for me because I grew up in an era where fucking Milan was all about being the best. Well, all about being number one. And it's not like that right now, which kind of sucks. Anyway, let's see what this is all about. The data on the growth of the brand value and the self-sustainability process carried out by Area Management and then continued by Red Bull Capital have been clear to see. The RossonARI recorded a profit for the first time in well over a decade in the last accounts published, and the positive economic work is enough in itself to guarantee Milan an ambitious summer transfer window without the need to make big sales. What the man, the freaking thing went blank. What the fuck, guys? Anyway, we are seeing where this is going. We see where this is going. We are seeing where this is going. Yes, Milan does not need to sell any of their players. They don't need to sell Leao. They don't need to sell Theo Hernandez. They don't need to sell Mike Maignan. They can build around these players and put top level players around them. Top level players around them. But that's not the mission goal. That's not the mission goal. The mission goal is different. Is this Moneyball approach, and it is what it is. But one thing, guys, I think, and if you disagree with me, let me know in chat, is that if a big offer comes for any of the players, I just don't see Jerry say no to that. Also, because one of the things that Jerry said about him liking the investments in football is the cash flow. And you create that cash flow with sales in the market. And that was one of the things that he spoke about a lot. So that really makes me want to believe that if there's a big offer for Theo Hernandez, Theo Hernandez is gone. If there's a big offer for Maignan is gone. If there's a big offer for Leao, is gone. If Juventus, guys, tomorrow comes and says, we'll give you 70 million for Furlani, Jerry is selling Furlani to Juventus. So, yes. So I think it is very possible that one of these players might be sold. But if they do get sold, one thing I know is that they will spend that money back on the market. I do think they will do that. Because that is kind of what they did last year. And that's what I expect they were going to do last year. And that's what happened. I don't think it's a tragedy if one of these players gets sold. Because if one of these players gets sold, you can really build a top-level team. If they can do that, it's all to be seen. Coop Mainers, Douglas Luiz, and Fagioli, Locatelli, Rabiot is a deadly midfield, best in Serie A. Coop Mainers, Douglas Luiz, and but I don't think you guys are going to be able to do that. I don't think so. I don't think you're going to be able to get Coop Mainers and Douglas Luiz. That is the media playing with your emotions. I mean, if Juventus can pull that off, Congrats. Salah makers wanted by you. That's right. You're getting Salah makers, bro. You're getting Salah makers. Every window we keep saying we only need 3 players to fight for trophies. If we can't keep our best players, this madness will never end. Forza Soccer. You want to watch some Douglas Luiz highlights? No, because it's a Premier League and yeah, I don't want to watch it. I've seen his highlights. Already made up my mind about Douglas Luiz. We analyzed him quite closely 2 years ago. Now he's 2 years older, so I'm assuming he's gained a lot of experience. Gabbia, Tomori, Chow are too error prone. I'm very worried. The defense needs to be addressed. Okay, the defense needs to be addressed. None of our defenders are national team players. Tomori has been snubbed again from the English national team, even with Maguire being injured. I don't know if it's because of his performances or because it's Serie A. I don't know. Should he be called up for the national team? I don't know who the other players are for England either. But regardless, facts are he has not been deemed worthy to be part of the national team. Gabbia is not a national team player. He's not being deemed worthy to be of a national team player. Kalulu is not a national team player. Chow is not a national team player. Calabria is not a national team player. Florenzi is not a national team player. Who's left? Kjaer he's gone. We all have players that are considered in the national team pool arena as second tier. Whether or not they are, maybe they deserve to be. You can make the argument, hey, Calabria should be there instead of Bellanova. Gabbia should be there instead of Calafiori or Gatti. You can say that. You can make these arguments. Tomori should be there. Kalulu should be there. Florenzi is too old, but whatever. He's not that older than Di Lorenzo. You can make a lot of arguments about everything, but the facts are that these players are not in the national team pool selections, which says we have a second-tier defense right now. We have a second-tier defense. And the fact that we conceded 70 goals this season, this season kind of tells us that as well. We have a second-tier defense, and our midfield also is somewhere in between second-tier and first-tier. We have Reindeers who made it into the national team. Benacer is in the national team. Musa is okay, guys. If Musa was Italian, guys, Musa wouldn't even be playing in the U21. He would be a bench player in the U21, but he is in the U.S. national team. Our offense is really, where we have national team players. Rafa Leao, Pulisic, Chukwueze, even though Chukwueze had a bad season. Okafor. I don't know if Jovic is a national team player, but Giroud was a national team player. But everybody else, and of course, then Theo Hernandez, Mike Magnan, those guys are big national team players. But if you want to build a top-level team, every single player you have should be a starter in their national team. That's how you know you got a really good squad. When every single player you have in your team is, if not the most important or the captain or one of the key players in their national teams. That right there is a metric that is easy to calculate. So we need to step it up. Mario, we need a World Cup. So even Varane brings interesting experience. We were linked with Coop Miners in the past before Atalanta got him. Okay. All right. That was a while ago. I don't remember that. Yes, we don't need to sell top players. Just get rid of dead weight. In theory, that's what we should do, yes. If you're selling one of your leaders, there is no po? What do you mean? No hope? It depends on how they replace him. It depends on how they replace him. Tomori should have been called. Yeah, you can make these arguments. You believe Tomori deserves to be there for sure. For us, it's good they did not call Tomori. Keep him healthy. I don't agree, Fadi. Honestly, I think that now I see what you're saying, and you're being sarcastic. I understand it, but that experience that these guys get in these national tournaments really elevates their game. It elevates their game. It elevates their ability to handle pressure. It just gives them a lot of valuable information. If you're selling one of your leaders, there's no point in buying new young players. Yeah, you have to replace them with other good players. Where do you currently rank Milan's team, RossonARI A? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Currently, our roster right now. Obviously not one. Obviously not one. The Scudetto Serie A says 2, but I don't believe that. I think we're maybe around 3 or 4. Having seen last season, I think our midfield is really bad. We don't have a good midfield. I think the midfield really brings the team down. I don't think it's really bad, guys. I think it's just not a midfield that is worthy of one or thing. I mean, yeah, 3 or 4. Let me put it that way. Let's see what happens at the end of the market. Personally, I think what we really miss in Milan, a charismatic player, a player who pushes other players to be more disciplined on the pitch. And this is one of the questions that was brought up earlier when I started the stream. Who is going to bring the mentality? Because that mentality is very important. Mentality is very important. Who is it going to be? Teo Hernandez is a little bit of a crazy guy. Mike Maignan seems to be the most stable one. Mike Maignan seems to be the guy, the leader, but it's hard to be a leader when your defense and your midfield can't fucking defend for shit. It's hard to be a leader. It's easy for Buffon to be a leader because in front of him he has Nesta, Maldini, Zambrotta, Cannavaro, etc. Or it's easy for Buffon to be a leader when he has Barzagli, Bonucci, and Chiellini in front of him. But when your midfield and defense is getting penetrated over and over and over again by every single team, it's hard to be a leader for Mike Maignan. Yes, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. Musa got slapped 5-1 by rebuilding Colombia. Colombia is I think Colombia after Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay is probably like the 4th best South American team or nation. I think it's Brazil in international football, in world football. It's Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, but in Copa America, yeah, I think it's the same, and Colombia is 4th. So we're still talking about a really good team. Buongiorno is a dream to have. He's a leader in his own rights. Yeah, I mean, is it maybe is it enough? Hi Roy, have we bought anybody, or are we just chatting shit as always? Chatting shit as always, bro. That's the way things are. Not really, because Vinny Jr. is terrible for Brazil, but amazing for Real Madrid. He has less goals than Endrick for Brazil. He played 98 minutes. He has less goals than Endrick. I find that hard to believe. But that's impossible. There's zero chance of that being true. There's no way that is true. Guys, if that is true, I'm going to, I don't know. Vinicius Jr. There's no chance this is true. That stat will blow my mind if this is true. 29 games, 3 goals. Maybe it is true. But he's got 29 games, though. Endrick, 17 years old. That's crazy. Five games, 3 goals. Wow, that's insane. That is insane. But still, Vinicius Jr. is a national team player. I mean, it still comes down to that. It still does come down to that. But that's insane that Endrick has 3 goals in 5 games and Vinicius Jr. has 3 in 29. Where's Laird? Laird is not available. The algorithm can't calculate. So we still haven't replaced Tonali. Yes, there you go. Bravo. Bravissimo. Kalulu was not too far from being called to the French national team the year we won the league. Unfortunately, his health set him back a bit. Yeah, I mean, as I said, you can make arguments for every single player. Pulisic can lead. Look, his nationality lost 5-1 at home. But I mean, guys, Colombia is filled with talent. You know, what are you going to do? Loftus-Cheek is not an attacking midfielder. We lack link-up play there. Our defense is crap. We need a defensive starter in that position, a central defensive midfielder, and a solid center forward. All good calls. Kalulu needs to stay healthy for the next full season. He will get his chance with France. Maybe. You think Mike is doing coke during the Euros? I hope so. I hope so. You know, it's going to be good for his performance. All right, let's see. Let's see what else we got. Anyway, guys, the solutions to make Milan a great team next year are there. They do exist. Whether or not they will happen, it's all to be seen. It's all to be seen. One thing that is a little bit, guys, I admit, this stage of the Mercato, one thing that I'm noticing is the goldfish effect that is happening all of a sudden again. And it's a very interesting phenomena. You know, the fan bases are starting to get very excited, and they're starting to get very excited about the prospects. And this is a period where there's going to be a lot of overrating, a lot of exaggeration, and it's starting to happen. I'm seeing we're in the beginning of that. We're in the beginning of this. Every single player Milan is going to sign, every single player Milan is going to be linked to is like a phenomenal world-class guy, blah, blah, blah. It's not just happening with the Milan fan base, it's happening with all the fan bases. So we're going in this phase of the market, in the beginning phase of the market, where the people are very anxious and are very excited of new faces, new prospects, new challenges. But objective analysis usually gets lost in this phase. The good thing about here is that we do not fall for all of that. We stay true to the football discipline as a sport, and we are going to keep our heads straight on the goal, and nobody's going to fool me, and who else does not want to be fooled? You should not be fooled. Who believes in Fonseca? Good question. Who believes in Fonseca? Who does believe in Fonseca? My concern with Fonseca is very simple. Is that if he wants to play the kind of football he wants to play, he needs to have a team that is exceptionally good at winning the ball back in their own half. Because if he does not have that, then his team is going to be stretched like a what do you call those instruments? The harmonicas or whatever. Like a yo-yo. His team is going to get stretched. In order for Fonseca's system to work, his team needs to be compact and together. Maybe from defense to attack, 30 meters. The pitch is 100 meters. So from defense to attack, the team needs to be 30 to 40 meters. But you can achieve this only if, two things, you have a team that is technical enough to dominate the ball, which Milan kind of does against most opposition in Serie A, but you need a team that is very good at winning the ball back right away. And if you don't win the ball back right away, your team is going to get stretched. And the distance between the defense and the offense all of a sudden from 30 meters becomes 70 meters, 80 meters. And then you have to go back to 40 meters. But then you lose the ball, you can't win it back, you have to go back to 80 meters and 70 meters. This back and forth is eventually going to be the downfall of Fonseca if he does not solve this problem. So, in order to do this, you need exceptional footballers on the ball. Objectively speaking, do we have players that can be the most dominant team in Serie A? I think with Atalanta, we really showed that they probably offensively, they don't, they can just go through us. Bologna just kind of went through us. Inter went through us, so no problem. Even Juventus, with their style of play, when they wanted to go through us, they went through us. Roma, even with their style of play, when they wanted to go through us, even the defensive teams were going through us. So that's really the problem, right? And this is where we have to be careful to not fall in the trap of the excitement of the fans. The fans are asking for strikers. The fans are asking for goals, for ESPN highlights, for bicycle kicks, for double scissors, and blah blah blah. But that's not what we need, right? I mean, we do need to replace Giroud, but what we need is to solve the football puzzle. And right now, the weak part of our puzzle is the fact that we don't have a very solid team off of the ball. And right now, it's hard to tell with the players that we're being linked with if these players are going to be the solution for that. Another thing, guys, is Fonseca a coach that understands the defensive aspect of the game? Now, the Portuguese in general are very offensive philosophy, football. He does come from that school. He likes offensive football. He likes pretty football. I'll give you this, guys. For sure, Milan is going to have some beautiful games next year. I have no doubt about this. Some games we're going to play really good football. It's going to be fun. We're going to score 4 goals. They might score 2. But we're going to score goals. One thing for sure, I think, with Fonseca is that for the neutral, it's going to be fun because there's always going to be goals, either for Milan or against Milan. What we need to do is to make it boring for the neutral. We need to the neutral supporter mustn't look at Milan and say, oh my God, these games are so much fun, so many open spaces, goals. The neutral supporter is supposed to say, fuck Milan, these guys always winning, fuck them, they're cheating, they're using the refs. Once the supporters start saying that kind of shit, oh my God, Milan is a bunch of cheaters, Milan is this, is because we're winning games over and over, and we're pissing people off. That's what we're supposed to be. That's where we're supposed to get. At the end of the day, guys, the only thing that matters when you're Milan is winning trophies. Okay, we had our period of growing players. We did it majestically under Maldini and Massara. Now we're done with that. Now it's time to win trophies. Saki said that last season. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Roy, looking at show a pic, I miss a Christmas tree formation. Oh, good days. The only thing that has me feeling slightly okay about Fonseca is that he hasn't had a team as good as this in his career. Sometimes systems coaches might just need a good squad. He hasn't had a team as good as this his whole career. Yeah, listen, maybe I think, okay, so where I see possibilities is, first of all, what is the objective? That's a question. If the objective is to just grow players and play pretty football and finish 4th, maybe one can be satisfied with Fonseca. But this is the question. What is the objective, though? What is the objective? Now, it could possibly be that Fonseca joins Milan, guys, and Milan all of a sudden plays incredible, and they play top level football, and nobody can score against them because they can't get the ball off of the players, and when they get the ball off, they lose it right away. That is a possibility. Okay, it is a possibility, but it's a very but what is it? Is it out of 10, out of 100%? What is the possibility of that? Maybe 20%. 25, maybe if you want to be generous, 30%. So you have to kind of be realistic here. You have to be realistic and not get caught up in the mercato excitement. Because when the football starts again, it's not about the mercato anymore. It's about what's happening on the pitch. And maybe it is true that the fact that he's going to have such a big prestigious team is going to galvanize him to be more careful. His experience in Italy might give him information to know how to approach. His experiences in Ukraine, obviously managing the best team in Ukraine, probably has given him an idea of how to manage a big team. I think there is maybe 20 to 30% chance that Fonseca can get everything right. Pragmatically speaking and objectively speaking, to me, it's more 70% that things kind of stay the way they are. Nothing really changes that much. I think maybe the thing that might change is the football might be a little bit prettier. But maybe result-wise, for now, guys, if tomorrow the market starts and we see what players are coming in and we start to see what kind of team we're going to have, things can change right away. There's no doubt about that. Things can change right away. But, we have to judge things the way they are now and with the links that we're being linked to. Did Italy play already? Yes. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah. According to Roy, we should have brought in Mourinho and parked the bus. No, I did not say that at all. I did not say that at all. I would have liked Conte, though. And also, I don't think there is any problem in playing that kind of football, to be honest with you. But I usually prefer offensive coaches. I like offensive coaches. The issue here that I think the offset that needs to happen here is you need to bring in a coach that can give a lot of value to the sporting area, sporting/results area. And that offsets the incapabilities of the upper management who do not have any experience in that at all. And these are newbies in the game. They literally just started doing this stuff. So in order to offset that incompetence, those abilities, you bring in a big guy like Conte, who will bring value to the sporting area, who will bring value to the results. And if I have to sacrifice a more defensive style for that in this current moment in Milan's history, yes. But if we are a healthy Milan and we have a great management behind us and great football people, and the ambition is to win and be the best in the world, then I would prefer a more offensive coach, because that's how I think Milan should always play. But I think if we want to fight for titles right now, we need to have a coach that is more savvy defensively. Also, because we're seeing right now that being savvy defensively is really the key of winning trophies. We've been seeing most of this for the past 3 or 4 years now. It's going towards that direction. The days of tiki-taka are over. Now it's going in the other direction. So, it's just being logical. You got to be logical. You got to be pragmatic. You got to do your calculations. It's mathematics. You can get it wrong, though. You can get it wrong. One goal by Frattesi. Frattesi looked really good today. He looked really good. Frattesi looked really good. Scamacca should have scored today. He had too many opportunities. Bad game for Scamacca. Good game for the football. Brilliant football, but in front of goal, he had 1 or 2 opportunities that he had to take, and he didn't. So bad for him. But yeah, it was an interesting game. Let's see how the Euros stack up for Italy. Fonseca attacking midfielder are always technical. How can he manage Loftus-Cheek? Listen, Hillary Okoli, if I am Fonseca, what I do is this. I use Zirkzee as my attacking midfielder because Zirkzee has those qualities. He has the body to do it. And if your plan is to just defend in the opposition half, Zirkzee can help you do that because he does have the qualities to do that. Of course, if your team gets stretched constantly, then you have to take Zirkzee out or you have to put Zirkzee as a center forward. But if your team gets stretched constantly, Zirkzee can't play box to box. But if your team is just going to be able to dominate every game and stay in the opposition's half for 70% of the time, yeah, Zirkzee can definitely play in that position. Plus, I would put there, out of the players that are available right now, Lukaku. I think Zirkzee Lukaku will be a really good combination. Both very good at shielding the ball. Both can provide goals. Lukaku also big time player. If I look at all the players that are available and I want results tomorrow, if I want results in 3 years, maybe I'll look at Sesko. But if I want results tomorrow, or today, I'm looking at that Lukaku operation. I'm thinking about it. A Zirkzee Lukaku gives you everything you need as far as physicality in order not to play a long stretched game. But you have to protect them. Because you can't have reindeers, Loftus-Cheek, Benacer, Ali, or Musa protecting that. You have to change your midfield. You have to bring in players of quantity. So I think there are ways and avenues to do this. But anyway, it's interesting to see how he's going to use Loftus-Cheek if it is true what you're saying, that he likes to use technical attacking midfielders. I'll take more in play if it gets us trophies, but look at who's where the last 4 teams in the CL. Dortmund played defensive football and got there. Real Madrid is playing defensive football. And they got to the final. Who else was there? PSG plays offensive football. It didn't work out for them. And Man City plays offensive football. So for now, I think defensive football is winning. But guys, I repeat, for me, Milan should always play attacking football. For me, it should be part of the philosophy, but you have to do it right. Listen, guys, it's easy for Van Basten, Ruud Gullit, and Rijkaard to become legends of the game when you have Franco Baresi, Maldini, Tassotti, Costa Curta, Ancelotti, Albertini, Colombo, and all these guys, Panucci and Donadori, all these guys doing the hard work. I mean, Rijkaard did a lot of hard work too. He was part of that defensive unit. They played offensive football, but the defense was incredible. Lord have mercy. The midfield and the defense was just a super level. Same thing when we won the Champions Leagues in the 2000s. Yeah, we had Shevchenko, Kaká, Inzaghi, amazing goal scorers, but we were protected by Gattuso, who's incredible, Ambrosini, Nesta, Maldini, Stam, etc., and all these guys. The defense is too important. You can't just neglect the defense. You just cannot neglect it. And it's easy to neglect it because defense is not exciting. The defense is not exciting. That's why it's easy to neglect the defense. At the end of the day, the players make the team. I don't know how much about Fonseca, but I think we need to buy good players. Yeah, for sure. The midfield was weak last season. I would like to see that area strengthen. Yeah, me too. Also, we lost Giroud, so we need to at least bring in a top player for that position. I mean, do you think Zirkzee can be the guy? Just win, yeah. I would like to assume that Ibra has some football IQ, so I'm confident that they will identify the weaknesses we have and have a mercato to address the issues. I hope so. I hope Ibra can help, can steer the decision making in a better way. I really do. Chiesa was like a ghost today. Not a great game from Chiesa. He did get the assist, but not a great game. Chiesa still not not. We'll see. We'll see in the tournament if he can get to that mental form. We'll see. And if it's physical, then that's another problem. But Ibra was out for almost the entirety of the previous season, so I don't count him. But I do agree that we should get another player as well as besides Giroud's replacement. Personally, I take a coach who prefers a smart high press with a new CB. This team is built to do that, as not technical, but we'll see if Fonseca is smart. Well, that's what we need to find out. Is Fonseca smart? Is Fonseca smart? That's what we have to find out. Is Fonseca smarter than the coaches he's playing against? Do you believe in Jovic as a backup striker? As a third striker, yes. I think it's okay. I mean, guys, third strikers barely play. So as a third striker, yes. As a second striker, no. I think you need more. That's according to my ambitions. But for this Milan, a second striker, Jovic is probably what a reality. Yeah. I'd love for us to get at least one decent Italian this window. Buongiorno, Scalvino, perhaps Ricci. Embarrassing that we're using Musa to meet quotas. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, as far as Italian goes, I don't even think about it anymore. It's pretty obvious. Milan, unless there's like a crazy deal, like Zirkzee, because we would have never gotten Zirkzee if that release clause wasn't there, guys. Keep that in mind. We would have never gotten Zirkzee. Is there some kind of deal like that? I really doubt Milan is going to get like the good Italian players, the ones that play for the national team. They're going to only get players for quota. Now, Zirkzee is good because Zirkzee also does fill in the Serie A quota. So Milan lost Mirante. Mirante is off the books. And now Zirkzee coming in would take his spot as a Serie A player. Ole, 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 ole. Zirkzee can be the guy but much different profile than Giroud. He's more mobile and does more link-ups with midfield, so that is good. But might he get out of position to score goals? Question mark. Yeah, he's definitely different than Giroud. He is a false nine, essentially. He likes to play between the lines, link up with the midfielders. He plays pretty deep, actually, sometimes. If you even watch his highlights, a lot of his plays are really deep. He likes to come back and then go forward like an elastic. While Giroud is the kind of player that just goes centrally towards the goal. He's always getting as close to the goal as possible. While Zirkzee doesn't necessarily need to do that in order to fulfill his game. Zirkzee Sesko, maybe Zirkzee Sesko. Sesko, guys, is quite a specimen for his age. Huh? I think we should being in Zirkzee and another more experienced striker, Joselu, Sesko, Lewandowski. I would bring in Lewandowski. What's the situation with Lewandowski? I think that guy in the locker room would give a lot. What do we think about Lewandowski? Are we good for Lewandowski? Do we want him? Leva. Let me see Lewandowski's situation. Robert Lewandowski, 35. So it's not like he's super old. I mean, Giroud at 38 got us 26 goal contributions last season. Lewandowski is 35. Let's see his stats. 35 goals, 35 games, 19 goals, 8 assists. In total, Lewandowski had 19, 22, 25, 26, 27, 35 goal contributions all season in all competitions. Not bad, not bad. There you go. That's a good replacement for Giroud, Lewandowski. That's the guy right there, man. That's who we should be looking at. These types. Get an experienced guy like that and have him play with young players like Zirkzee, Leao, Pulisic, and they will look up to to Lewandowski, and they will, be a good. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Roy, are you nervous going to the Euros with one draw and a 1-0 in friendlies? Nervous? No, not really. I don't know what to expect. I'll talk a little bit about Italy. I'll give you my analysis on Italy. So Italy right now is a team that, with this coach, only prepared 1 year for this cup. Usually it takes 2 years to prepare for these tournaments. So Spalletti only had 1 year, and he's using players that were coming off of a system that was Mancini's system. So he has to readapt the system. He didn't have enough time for the trial and error. There was not enough time for trial and error. So he's still trying to figure out what he's going to do. Like today, he played different from what he played last time. Different players, different formations, different systems, different tactics. He's preparing different things, but in order to win these competitions, you need to have one way of playing, and it needs to be solid. It needs to be perfect. And if there's some problems, you can make some changes. I don't think Spalletti had enough time to prepare that. That's problem number one. But I do think that if he can survive the group stages, those 3 games that he plays will do the job, will get the team at a point where the team can operate in full gear. As of now, I think it's going to be very difficult. I think it's going to be very difficult for Italy to go through. The hope is that they revert. They can hang on to the values that are very important for the national team, which is the group, sacrificing for each other, fighting for each other, and being united, and also finding their qualities through that kind of philosophy, which is the main philosophy that has been taught there at Coverciano. So from a young age, it's that group mentality, sacrifice, run for each other, sacrifice for each other, blah blah blah. This is something that Italy has always been maybe the best in the world at doing. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it can be a tool that they can use to survive the group stages. The other thing is that I don't know the state of Croatia. I don't know the state of Spain so much. So maybe these teams aren't as strong, and maybe Italy can get something. Another problem that Italy does have, that you have to Zaniolo injured, Scalvini injured, Berardi injured. So these are big players. These are big players for them, and I think I'm missing someone else too. Also, for me, the fact that Insigne, Bernardeschi, and Verratti are still playing, they're still of age, but they can't be available, is a big shame. I think if these players were still playing in Europe and they were available, they would be game changers. So this is a Italy that maybe is not as strong as the 2020 team, but maybe hopefully Italy can attach itself to its values, its footballing values, and use that to help them go through the group stages. Yeah, so we'll see. They have to survive. If they can survive the group stage. And guys, listen, I really want, I really want to be wrong on this. I really want to be wrong on this. Right now, if I were to put money on it, guys, I don't think Italy's going to pass the group stages. I think they're going to maybe finish third, but it still won't be enough, because you have to score goals to have a better. You have to get points to have a better record than the other ones. For example, in 2020, okay, I'm a guy that follows every single national team from the U16, U17, U18, U19, U20, U21 senior. I follow every fucking game from the friendlies to the qualifiers to the tournaments of every single category. All right. So the U17 that I saw win the Euros, when I saw them in the qualifiers, I was like, this is a very interesting team. They could go really far. Meaning, it's not very difficult to predict that that U17 was going to win the tournament. In 2020, when Mancini prepared Italy, Italy had gone on a 27-game unbeaten run, playing this really nice football too. Right? So you're coming from a 27 unbeaten run, playing really good football. It's not difficult to predict Italy is going to win it or do really well. But this time around, it's a completely different story. This time, we're not coming from a great run. We're coming from another World Cup disaster. We're coming from a coach that just took Mancini's job. Mancini just fired himself to go for the Saudi Arabian job. So very different circumstances. And the circumstances leading up to the tournament are usually very telling of what's going to happen in the tournament. So for me, as of now, guys, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't know if how well they're going to do. But I do think that if they survive the group stages, that will give Spalletti enough time to have created a well-oiled machine. If Italy can be a well-oiled machine and play football with their eyes closed and still bring in those values, then Italy can go far, maybe even a semifinal. If they're lucky on penalties, maybe they can even go to the final. And if Italy does go far, like a quarterfinal, semifinal, I think it's a positive year for Italy. I think it's positive for Italy. If we win it, that's incredible. It's amazing. But these are factors that you need to consider. In 2006, for example, when Italy won the World Cup, it was very similar to 2020. Italy had done 2 years of Lippi playing this 4-2-3-1. Same players, same formation, same concept, beating Holland, beating Germany, beating every single team. So going into the 2006 World Cup, it was easier to tell Italy was going to do well, even though, these are factors that you can't deny. England, for example, now has had a really poor run going into in the tournament, but they had a great run in the qualifiers. But right now, I think England hasn't won a game in 5 games or something like that. Portugal just lost to Croatia. These are indicators. We will see, guys. The beauty about this tournament is that there's a lot to be discovered, a lot of excitement. And also, Copa America is going to be happening at the same time. So it's going to be a lot of football. We're going to be overwhelmed with national team football, which for me is my favorite kind of football. National team football is my favorite football because I love how much passion the teams put into it. So for me, it's fucking heaven on earth, guys. Heaven on earth. So I think the favorites for me right now are France, Germany, England. I think England can take it. I think England can take it. Portugal also. I know you think friendlies don't matter, but they do in relation. Well, I never said friendlies don't matter. Whoever said no? Of course, friendlies matter. Every game matters in order to build that gel that you're talking about. Yeah, all of these games matter. All of these games matter. I'm not sure about Lille, but an Inter Lautaro forms a partnership with Trem, so that partnership of 2 strikers already gives you a lot of options in attack and different ways of scoring. Serbia team is tasty. Serbia, yeah, they have good players. What about USA losing 1-5? Yeah, Colombia's a good guys. Colombia's always going to be, no offense, guys, to anybody, guys. Don't take offense to any of this, but I'm sorry, but Colombia is always going to be a stronger footballing nation than the US. You know, like this is a given. Like USA is always going to be a stronger footballing nation than, I don't know, fucking Malta, you know? But I'm not surprised to see this. Definitely not surprised. Actually, I would be surprised if a result was there was. I would have been surprised if you say beat Colombia. If you say would have beat Colombia 1-0, I would have been surprised. I've been like, damn, okay, that's pretty good. Colombia's a strong team. They produce a lot of good players. Always have. Endrick is going to ball out Copa America. Endrick, fantastic player. Really looking forward to see how he develops in his career. I like him. I like his personality too. I think he's a little bit more level-headed than the last Brazilian guys, like Ronaldinho and Neymar. So maybe that can really play in his favor. Colombia have a good team right now. They can win the Copa America for sure, yeah. Jesse Marsh, Canada, guys. The Canadian national team stopped Mbappe, Giroud, Kolo Muani, Zinedine Zidane, Thierry Henry, Roberto Baggio, Pelé. Let me see the stats. France versus Canada. Where are the stats? Why aren't they showing this game? Why aren't they showing this game? Friendlies. Here we go. France versus Canada. Okay. So France had 13 shots total, 4 on target, 51% possession, 521 passes, while Canada had 7 shots, 0 on target, but possession 49%, passes 513. Honestly, not bad performance from Canada. Good job, Canada. Well done. Props to you. France had started with Magnan, Kwande, Upamecano, Saliba, Hernandez, Kante, Camavinga, Dembele, Griezmann, Thuram, Giroud. While Thuram is being played in Rafa Leao's position. So no Mbappe. Did Mbappe play today? Yes, Mbappe did play today. Kolo Muani played. Coleman played. Damn, these guys have so many fucking... It's hard to... How can you bet against France? Jesus. Every single fucking player, man. Lord have mercy. Anyway, yeah, good job for Canada. Well done. I think you can put this one in your museum. Good job. Good job. Three AC Milan players make the most valuable Serie A 11 according to Transfer Market. Boom. Thank you, Maldini. The transfer market values are calculated taking into account various factors such as market demand for a player, their potential contract situation, injury history, and other variables that they list. According to the source, Magic Mike Maignan is the most valuable goalkeeper in the league at 38 million, which is a 2 million decrease from his previous value, but still enough for him to hang on top spot. Theo Hernandez is the top left back as he comes in at 60 million, which some will believe to be too low. Then Rafa Leao rounds off the trio included as the highest valued left winger at 90 millions. Damn, what happened to reindeers in them all? Okay, so Coop Miners, Çalhanoğlu, and Barella are the most valuable midfielders. Osimhen, Lautaro Martinez are the other two strikers. Osimhen, 100 million. Lautaro Martinez, 110 million. Then in defense, you have Bremer, Bastoni, Hernandez, and Pavard. Really? 50 million for Pavard? Damn, guys. Look at that. They got this guy for free, and now he's worth 50 million. Forget about it. How do you compete with that shit? Maldini was doing these things. How the fuck is Furlani and Moncada going to do these things, guys? Pavard was free. Çalhanoğlu was free. Mamma mia, ragazzi. I gotta chillax. Are we doing some Twitter? Let's go to Twitter, guys. Let's see what Twitter's up to. Twitter. Let's see if we have any new updates. Juventus, Milan, Roma are interested in Zirkzee from Lille, right? LOSC is Lille. Who is this guy? Any information on this guy in chat, guys? Let me know. Is this the winger? I think this is the winger, right? Fratesi. João Felix could be a number 10 for Fonseca. Il mio futuro, I want to stay at Barcelona. Okay, so stay at Barcelona, man. Amichevoli internazionali, Francia, no goals against Canada. Juventus, Milan, and Roma in for Zirkzee, guys. Who is this dude? He's the right winger. Kosovo. No, Pavard was for 35 million. Okay, guys, my bad. I thought he was for free. I thought it was a free signing. Yes, he's a right winger. Wait. Hold on. Why are we being linked to a right winger? Why are we being linked to a right winger? Why are we being linked to a right winger? I mean, surely we can't go with Pulisic, Chukwueze, and another right winger. Surely that can be true. Okay, so that means someone is going. Does this mean that if we listen, this is just a link, it's a random link. Don't make too much out of it. But I mean, who's he playing for? Who's sitting on the bench, guys? Who's sitting on the bench and who's leaving? Is Chukwueze leaving? It's Fonseca, or he wants every League One player. Salah makers to Juve. That's insane. That is insane, guys. Salah makers' career is fucking weird. Do you guys like this link? But if we're linked to him, that definitely means that, listen, again, I don't take this link too seriously, but if we are going in the market for a right winger, that means that Chukwueze is out. Okay. It's very simple. There's zero chance. Actually, let me repeat that. There is a good chance that Furlani can screw this up and have three right wingers, two of them sitting on the bench the whole time. What is this? Okay, this is interesting. This guy here is the Italian Raiola, Beppe Rizzo. Agent hold a lot of power in football, and the summer transfer window is when they tend to demonstrate their influence, such as the modern way. In this regard, Beppe Rizzo could be one of the most active in Serie A. Damn. As our colleagues at Sempre Milan write, Rizzo, among many, is preparing to experience a heated few months. The first, as we have already mentioned, will be the renewal of Camarda. Camarda has renewed with the team. So far as I know, he will be joining the U23 team in Serie C. Also, as far as that goes, it looks like Ancona is going to be the team that drops out of the Serie C, leaving that spot for AC Milan. So let's see how that what happens there. Okay, who else does he have? It's a significant deal for me, and perhaps. Okay, who else? The founder also has Daniel Maldini, guys. Good, good. Guys, what do you think about Daniel Maldini? So, interesting stat from Daniel Maldini is that he is the youngest player in Serie A with the most goals. He is the youngest player in the Serie A with the most goals. I personally would like to see him come back, because since we're not even thinking about trying to win trophies, and we just want to grow players, I would bring back Daniel Maldini and give him a chance as that number 10 in Fonseca's system. We know he's good at ball recovery. You know, it is something that we noticed he was good at. Also, footballing wise, he had some great moments. Fuck it, why not give him a chance? And that can be our, I don't know. What do you guys think? Maldini, yes or no? He also has Giancarlo Simic. Wow. Maldini, Giancarlo Simic. Buongiorno, buonanotte. Alessandro Buongiorno looked really good today. I'll give it to him. He's very composed on the ball. Following Lille's announcement, it seems that Fonseca will arrive at Milan shortly to become the new head coach and officially launch the post-Pioli era. Paulo Buzarlo deserves... okay, whatever. Guys, talk to me about Maldini. What do we do with Maldini, guys? What do we do with Maldini? Pulisic... Okay, so you think Pulisic will play attacking midfield? So, do you believe that Zirkzee, Leao, Pulisic, Chukwueze can provide that kind of quality? I don't know. Maybe with Fonseca, it is possible that Pulisic will play as an attacking midfield, and Chukwueze is the right winger, and that's why I think it'll be the same thing. We'll still concede a shitload of goals. But it is possible he can do it. Roy, could Okafor explode next season? He has all the qualities and could form a good partnership with Zirkzee with Leao on the left LM. Yeah, I mean, why not? For me, young players always have the opportunity to explode. He's had his first year in Serie A. Explode at what level, I don't know, but to at least give a decent contribution. I mean, he's 24 years old, so he's still young. He's about to get in a very interesting age, 25. He's a Swiss international, which is what is important. You have to be an international because, you get to play these big tournaments, gives you a lot of good experience. Okafor, 6 goals, 2 assists in total in all competitions in 28 in 30 something matches. In 35 matches, he had 6 goals, 9 goal contribution coming off of the bench. It's not bad. We'll see. What is the hope for Adli? Well, for sure, guys. if we play an offensive system, Ali is probably going to be a problem. Look, we have in the midfield, we have Ali, we have Reindeers, we have Loftus-Cheek, we have Benacer, we have Pobega, and we have who else we have Musa. This is a very low level midfield from all of them. Now Benacer is the one that showed us good things. Last season he didn't though. But if you what is the dead weight? Okay, Pobega is obviously dead weight in this midfield at this point. Pobega can go at this point. Is Ali dead weight? Is Reindeers dead weight? Is Loftus-Cheek dead weight? Is Benacer dead weight? For me, these players do not have the ability to play the kind of pressing game that actually, ironically enough, maybe Pobega is the one that can do the pressing game, but he's dead weight in my opinion at this point. None of these players have the qualities that Fonseca needs to do that high press. Maybe Loftus-Cheek a little bit. That's it. So what is going to happen to Ali? That's a good question. I'll give you my prediction, and I know that this will be used against me because it always happens. This always fucking happens. But I will put a disclaimer in here. This prediction is solely based on the information that we have now. It's not based on the information that we will have tomorrow. It's based on the information that we have now. In my opinion, Fonseca will play a very offensive style of football and it will look very good in the beginning. But then we're going to face a team that has a better coach and has more quality in the midfield and they can score goals, and they're going to completely destroy us. And then the exact same thing is going to happen as last season. We're just going to slowly crumble in every competition because they will realize that all the work they did in the summer didn't amount to anything. That's my prediction right now. And that's not me even being negative. That means that we're still going to be fighting for top 4, maybe. But again, tomorrow everything can change, guys. Tomorrow everything can change. Also, I'm very curious to see how Fonseca plays during the friendlies, because the friendlies are going to give us an idea of what style he wants to play, or what strategy he's going to be using, what tactics he's going to be using. So that's going to give us indicators. Right now, this is just this is a pre prediction that really doesn't mean shit. But still, people are going to use it against me. I know that. It's all good. It's all good, guys. Roy, same here. I'll give Daniel Maldini a chance. Nice. I like the Maldini and still pissed about the Maldini thing, but I don't think Daniel Maldini is good enough for Milan. Okay. I want Kevin Denke, don't know who he is. Sam Maldini back to Monza. Empoli also want Nasti. Nasti, very interesting player. I saw him play in the U21s, scored a tremendous goal against Turkey. Very good. I think Fonseca will play Chukwueze instead of Pulisic. It's possible. I mean, I do see, there is, in my opinion, there is a formation in which you can play both. There is a formation in which you can play both, and that is the 3-4-3. If you have a third right center back that is static, that is strong, then he can, and then you can put Chukwueze in the midfield line of 4 as a wing back. And that will give you some balance, and you can still have Pulisic on the right. So basically, the overlaps are going to be Pulisic and Chukwueze, and that's it. There's no more overlaps. The wing, the right center back stays stat. Is like he's a post. He's there in that position. He doesn't come up. He doesn't cover. He just covers. I think that is a solution to play Chukwueze and Pulisic together. If you play Pulisic as a cam and Chukwueze as a right and Leao on the left, That is very weak off the ball. That is maybe the weakest team offensively off the ball. So that means in order to make that work, you have to compensate with a lot of defensive players that are very good off the ball. In the midfield, we don't have the only one is Loftus Cheek, which is okay. So when you put together a team, you have to think about that balance. That balance is very important. That balance is the key. If you go in with Pulisic, Leao, Chukwueze as your line there, and Zirkzee, you need to have two strong pivots. You need to have Kessie and Tonali. Like Kessie and Tonali can cover that. Kessie, Tonali, and then even Kessie, Tonali are going to struggle actually covering that. Even Kessie and Tonali are going to struggle because Pulisic off the ball is a ghost. Chukwueze off the ball is a ghost. Leao off the ball is not even a ghost. He is the next level of whatever that is. Zirkzee off the ball is good, very good actually for a striker. So maybe he can help. He can compensate. Zirkzee off the ball is very good, guys. This is why I'm happy about the Zirkzee signing, because off the ball he is good, and that is a very important quality that we need. And putting together a balanced football team is a puzzle. If you really believe that Leao, Pulisic, and Chukwueze can dominate every single team for 70% of the time, I think you're shooting in the dark there a little bit. You have to be more careful. You have to be more careful. But I do see a solution with Chukwueze and Pulisic on the field. That would be a 3-4-3. And you can have three static defenders. You still need two strong pivots. Though. That doesn't matter. No matter what formation, no matter what iteration, you still need two strong pivots. Theo Hernandez can be the fullback on the left. Theo Hernandez can also be left center back if he needs, but Theo Hernandez can be the fullback on the left, the wing back on the left. Chukwueze can be an offensive wing back. So you'd have to almost unbalance the team a little bit. The team needs to be a little bit diagonally unbalanced. But that chain, Chukwueze, Pulisic, offensively can be interesting. It just needs to be protected by the right center back and the right central midfielder. Those two players there need to protect that chain. Loftus Cheek and a strong right center back could potentially protect that chain. And Chukwueze, even though off the ball is weak, he is a player that can run up and down the field. He's not he's a light player. It's not like he's consuming a lot of energy. So he can do his containment. Also, he can help in the containment area. So I think there is a possibility to have Chukwueze. It just can't be a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. If it is a 4-2-3-1, you can't do it against Inter. You do that against Inter, you're going to lose 7-7. Yeah, you're going to score 2 goals, but you're going to concede 7. You can do that. I mean, actually, they did that against who did they do that against? Salernitana, I believe. No, who did they do that? They did that this season, and it didn't work out. Now, one thing about that a lot of us discovered regarding Serie A last year is that a lot of the mid-table teams and the lower teams don't have a lot of quality up top. They really don't have a lot of quality up top. They can score goals against us, but they don't have a lot of quality up top. So potentially against the smaller teams, you can do that kind of formation, but the Champions League, if you do that in the Champions League, you're gonna get fucking mauled. You're gonna get mauled. If you do that in against Atalanta, you're gonna get mauled. If you do that against any team with good players, good forwards, quality in the midfield, you're going to get mauled. So balance is the key. 2 strong pivots. Chukwueze is as an offensive wingback. Pulisic on the right. Zirkzee in the middle. Leao on the left. Teo Hernandez fullback, wingback. Solutions, tactical solutions. One thing that Roy, I think Zirkzee could carry us, to be honest. Maybe. It's possible. I don't want to say no for sure, but it's possible. If we get Fofana, all can change. Fofana can help for sure. I think Fofana can help. Can Fofana can get us closer? Can get us closer to finding those tactical solutions. I would rather get Orsolini than Maldini. Orsolini this year has been absolutely fantastic, guys. Oh my God. I can't believe how good he has been this year. Yes, then we will hear Fonseca out. Yes, I'm answering you where you from. What do you mean where you from? Oh, okay. You're having a conversation. Okay, never mind. My bad. The problem with 3-4-3 is Leao will be frustrated with not having the ball too much. I mean, Leao needs to fucking take a chill pill and take it, you know? Ceballos linked to us for 8 million. Why the fuck will we waste money on another midfielder who can defend? Makes 0 sense. Cabal, isn't this the Spanish guy that used to play for Real Madrid? I don't have any big desire about Fonseca. The only positive note is Fonseca can speak English, Italian, French, and Portuguese, so he can communicate better to the players. That's a good point. That is a good point. Language communication is a big part of being a coach. Very big part of being a coach. Maybe even this could be one of the things that they consider while taking coaches. Maybe this could be one of the reasons why they don't want Italian coaches, because the Italian coaches are I don't know. I don't think Italian coaches. I mean, probably most of them can only speak one language. That is why we should get a Gattuso-like player. Mohamed Kamara from Monaco fits a profile. I've been hearing about Kamara for a long time. Been linked to us for a long time. We need a Kante type of player. Kante is a top G for sure. I think Zirkzee makes Leao and Pulisic and Schuck better. Yeah, I mean, the link up game is going to be better. It should be better, but we'll see. We'll see if it's going to be any different with Giroud. Because remember, again, Giroud provided 26 goal contributions last season. That's a big ask. Zirkzee, in theory, has more quality around him, so he could get there too. You know, we don't know. Regardless, Zirkzee, I think, is a really good signing. Zirkzee, to me, is an A+ signing. You're getting one of the best players in Serie A. It is a Serie A player. It's a Serie A statement. And also tactically and technically, there's validity to this signing. He can play football. He can hold the ball. He can defend in an offensive area. These are all good things. Is it enough? Right now, I don't think so. I think he's just filling the Giroud void right now. So we need more. We need more than Giroud, right? And again, guys, not to harp on this, the problem is really the defensive structure of the team. Last year we scored 99 goals. 99. That's a lot of fucking goals. So at the end of the day, the real puzzle to solve is going to be the defensive structure of the team. And that's where you need experts. That's where you need expertise. That's where you have to maybe, think more about the sporting area rather than the business area. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Diop, I said type player, bro. Turab midfield. Okay, he's good. I like him. Yeah, he's good. I saw him in the U21 tournament or last summer, and he was in the U21 for France, and I liked him a lot in that team. I think he could be an interesting signing. I like him, but I'm not sure. Okay, Dominic Sank is a solid center forward. Scored over 25 goals for Bournemouth. Okay. I think Ali can be taken to the next level if we buy the right players in the middle. Fofana is a good start. Another option is Mohamed Kamara. Yeah, players like Ali need to be protected. Like Pirlo needed to be protected by the various Gattusos, Ambrosini, Vidal, Marquise, Pogba, etc. These kind of players, these playmakers here that are maybe not too physically, imposing. They need protection. You remember the Chelsea UCL game where Leo was frustrated? He wanted to do everything himself on a 3-4-3. Listen, Leo, for me, I know that. Well, the issue with that was that that period when we moved to a 3-4-3, Leo was played more as a as a lamb, left attacking midfielder, and he said he was struggling to play from the middle. He says he likes to play more, collect the ball more from the side because there's more space on the side, and his game is really based on space. But you can play a 4-3-3, which is which is the same. It doesn't have to be a 4-2-3. See, the thing is, Pioli was playing a 3-4-2-1, but it can be a 3-4-3. It can be a 3-4-3. Him and Theo Hernandez are pretty much doing the same thing, except Hernandez is going to be closer to him. He's still there feeding the center forward. Pulisic can play more as a ram, right? So you can do a 3-4-3 with Pulisic as a ram, right attacking midfielder, and Leao as an LW, left attacking winger, as a Law, left attacking winger. So you can find ways to make this work. Leao was a sacrificial lamb in that formation. Yeah, he was. Yeah, but he didn't need to be. He didn't need to be. Because if we keep Ali Rangers, we need the players to cover and help them. Yeah, for sure. These two players are players that have no fight in them. Ali a little bit better than Rangers. Rangers needs to bring that part of his game up, for sure. But these players, if they're protected and they don't need to worry too much about winning the ball back, they're going to perform better because then their qualities on the ball are going to express their qualities on the ball at a higher level. But if a player like Rangers needs to worry about defending, you might as well put a freaking, I don't know, bucket on the field, and that bucket is going to do better than Rangers. But Rangers on the ball has good qualities, and if he has to do minimal defending, just containment, and when in close proximity, try and win a ball, then okay, you can extract value from the player. But if you're asking this guy to win the balls in the midfield and to be that kind of player that galvanizes a team from that standpoint, you might as well put an empty bucket on the field. It's the same shit. Leao needs to play deep, more in the box towards the center, and be clinical in front of the goal. Otherwise, we can't gain anything from Zirkzee. Oh, yeah, he needs to be closer to the goal. He needs to be close to Zirkzee. And they need to play close to each other, and they'll produce more. Definitely. Yeah, playing close in close proximity makes everything easier. It's hard to do, but it definitely makes everything easier. Ole, 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 ole. Let's do a quick Twitter snipe. Let's see what's going on Twitter. Empoli interested in Marco Nasti, as I believe someone was pointing out in the chat earlier. Juventus, Milan, and Roma in for the right winger. Interesting link. I don't get it. I guess this is a Fonseca man. Maybe Fonseca. No. Is this a Fonseca guy? It is Lille, right? This is so this is a Fonseca player. So maybe it does make sense. But again, is there a sacrificial lamb in all of this? Is there a sacrificial lamb in all of this? Okay. Joao Felix, Deschamps, not happy. Paolo Zanetti to Verona. Guys, by the way, Barone has got him the job at Lazio. Interesting there. Okay, a little bit of Juve here. Thiago Motta. Let's just fucking translate this. So this is basically just saying that they were already in contact with Thiago Motta last year. That's all this is. Nothing of real interest. Giovedì. According to Longo, Thursday, guys, Fonseca is going to sign with AC Milan. Thursday, we're going to have the new Alex Ferguson become the coach of AC Milan. Okay, Dele Bashiru, Lazio is trying to close for this player. Not sure who he is. Milan Zone. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see what this is from Sports Zone. Sensation, barring sensational twists, Georgia Zirkzee will sign for Milan this summer. Total agreement between the player and the RossonARI club, which will pay the 40 million clause at Bologna. General agreement also an agent's commissions. There you go. That's it, guys. Player download almost complete. Windows 94, it's slow. Windows 94. It's not like today's. It's not like the G5 internet where it's in 2 minutes. It's like, little by little, we'll get there. You got to wait overnight. We'll get there. Comments not taking this article seriously. Okay. Yeah, Thursday, Fonseca signs. This week, guys, look at what Nicolo Schira. A lot of people hold Nicolo Schira in high regard. This is what he says. Thiago Motta to Juventus this week. Baroni to Lazio this week. Fonseca to AC Milan this week. Vanoli to Torino this week. Is there more? And Nesta to Monza. That's going to be very interesting. Nesta to Monza. That's the one I'm very curious for that. I'm very curious to see how Nesta does at Monza. And Zanetti to Verona. Also, Zanetti was part of that World Cup team. Guys, what do we think about Chiesa? Chiesa is on the market, apparently, and going up at a pretty low cost. If we're linked to right wingers, why not go for Chiesa instead? What do we think about Chiesa in the chat? Low price, coming off a season where him and the coach didn't really gel. A little bit of a divorce from the Juventus universe here. It's a low-cost operation player, still young, still a lot to give. Maybe Italy's best attacker right now seems to be, on sale. He seems to be on sale, discount sale. It is Black Friday, so discount sale for Chiesa. Is it a yes or no? Should we get Chiesa, yes or no? What do you guys think? For me, guys, it's always a yes with Chiesa, no matter what, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. Must be something wrong with Chiesa, but nobody wants him. I'd grab Chiesa for 20 million, put him in cam. Well, he's not a cam, but maybe he stays at Juve because of Motta. Well, apparently Motta doesn't like him, and there's issues with the environment. The newspapers are putting him, they're linking him to Roma, Napoli. He's available. So I would take Chiesa every day, any day, for sure. Bring him there, put him on the right wing. Mamma mia. Leao on the left, Chiesa on the right. That's in Italy. That's the best. That's the best you can have. I grab Chiesa for 20 million. Pulisic will spank us out of Casa Milan. I don't know if you have Pulisic and Chiesa. Honestly, I don't know who's going to be starting. I don't know. Maybe Chiesa will take his spot. Roy, my FIFA team trio is Leao, Zirkzee, Chiesa. My dream trio. That would be fucking fantastic. That would be fucking fantastic. Sell Okafor for 10 million. Buy Chiesa. Interesting. Guys, Chiesa is available. He is in the market. He is in the market. And, what happens if someone buys Chiesa? He has an extraordinary season. Okay, so right now, guys, Chiesa has a very similar situation to Scamacca. Scamacca was on the market for a very low price this summer. He was on the market for 25 million. Because of his poor season with West Ham. So he was on a discount price. There was a sale on his price. It was Black Friday for Scamacca. Similar situation with Chiesa right now. I personally think that we lost a great opportunity with Scamacca. We could have had Scamacca for only 25 million. And we would have solved a lot of issues there. And now we could have brought in Zirkzee as well. Imagine if we would have gotten Scamacca and now we bring in Zirkzee. That would have been insane. Chiesa now, similar situation with Chiesa. He's on a sale. He's on a discount. And it could be one of those things that by this time next year, we're biting our nails or we're stomping our feet because we lost a big opportunity. Griezmann is also very interesting. Griezmann as experience will be very good. Yeah, I don't disagree. Roy, good point about most people don't want him, so there must be something about his attitude. But what I like most about him is his work rate. Price isn't great for Milan. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about here, Diapa? I was talking about Chiesa. Well, okay. I didn't say that most people don't want him. I'll just say Juve doesn't want him. Roma and Napoli seem to be the two teams that are now interested. But I hope he doesn't join those two teams. I mean, he should join like Milan or Inter, guys. Like, fuck, come on. What the fuck is he doing? Joining Roma or Napoli? You got to join the big boys. You got to be with the big boys. Mamma mia, Chiesa Ventonali, that would be nice. But no, like, I think if you have Leao, Zirkzee, Chiesa, that fucking trio right there up top is killer. Absolutely killer. But of course, even that trio needs to be protected. So I really, at the end of the day, it still goes back to square one. We got to fucking, wear protection. We got to stop this raw dogging. The raw dogging is not giving us any results. We need to start getting some protection here. All right, what else do we have? Donnarumma today had some fucking incredible saves. I mean, which were mistakes by the defense, by the way. The defense made some really silly mistakes, and Bosnia almost scored off of those mistakes. And, if that's Spain, Spain is scoring those goals. That's Croatia. Croatia's probably scoring those goals, so we got to be careful here. But Donnarumma had a crazy game. Donnarumma says he wants to defend the title. I don't think there's much history of teams winning the title back to back. I think it's very rare to see that. Maybe we can. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's very rare to see back to back titles. I think Spain is the only team that has been able to do it that I know of, top of my head. I don't know if there are other teams that have been able to do it. Leao, look at him pissed off. Look at his face. This is what he should always look like. That's what he should always look like. Instead, he's always fucking smiling. Bravo, Leao. Bravo, Leao. Scamacca. Okay, here we have some Decathlon news from 2 hours ago. Let's see what this says. Atalanta's plans for Charles De Ketelaere have not changed. They want to keep him and want to buy him for 22 million, but they would like to reduce the bonuses 4 million and remove 10% on future sales. Okay. Milan is not willing to make the concessions as of now. This guy wants Atalanta to pay everything. He's pissed off. Caldara, Conti. Ederson. Interesting. Bring Ederson. Bring in Ederson. Okay, guys, we're going to be closing. Give us Tonali, Chiesa, Fagioli, and Paquetá, or retire. All right, guys. Anyway, today, interesting stuff. We're getting closer to the Zirkzee signing. I give this signing an A+. I think it's an excellent signing. So I'm happy about this signing. I think he was one of my favorite players of the Serie A last season, and that's nice that one of my favorite Serie A players comes to me. Now, I think a lot of you guys like him a lot too. He showed good stuff. But I'm not doing what I'm not. This guy is not okay. He's not Zidane, guys. He's not Van Basten. He's not these guys, but he's a good player that can bring in some good stuff. So the ultimate puzzle is going to be the defensive structure of the team. What are they going to do to solve that puzzle? That is the difficult puzzle to solve. Buying Zirkzee at a deal when Zirkzee really wants to live in Italy, wants to join Milan, that's easy stuff. And you're just only filling the Giroud void. The real puzzle is going to be, what are you going to do regarding the defensive structure of the team? Because in Italy, defensive structure is the most important element. Now, there are some exceptions where teams that don't have great defensive structures win the league. These are rare exceptions, but they do happen. But most of the times, the team with the best defensive infrastructure or structure is the team that wins the league. That is what I want to see, how they solve that issue. And in order to solve that issue, you need to be an expert. You need to be really good. You need to be very good. So I want to see how they do. Other than that, guys, let's see what happens this week. The Euros are coming. Copa America is coming. So we're going to be talking about a lot of potential players. Another thing, guys, that is going to happen in this upcoming month, there's going to be a lot of new players that are going to emerge that could be possible good signings for AC Milan, or players that we already know, but they shine. So that is also going to be happening too in the upcoming weeks. We're going to be bombarded with a lot of players coming from the Copa America and from the Euro that are going to be linked to Milan, to all the teams. So that's going to be very interesting too. But this week, we're expecting the Fonseca signing, and we are expecting the Zirkzee signing to be finalized. Okay, so let's we will never buy tournament players. Number one rule. We will see. We will keep. We'll keep on doing our daily streams. And the usual formats and whatnot. Guys, everybody have a great Sunday wherever you are. Forza Milan, and see you tomorrow or Tuesday. Tomorrow, maybe someone else is going to do the streams. I don't know if I can do the streams, but if not, I will be doing the stream. Peace out. Thank you, everybody. Make sure to click the like button on your way out. Have a good one.